What's going on, everybody? I'm back with the Real Bodybuilding Podcast, and I'm here with two-time Mr. Olympia, Chris Bumstead. How are you, man?
I'm good, feeling good. A little
Yeah.
dead inside, but it's a beautiful feeling when you're feeling dead inside at a week out. So
Dead inside, but is there like a peacefulness coming over you because it's like almost the time, or is it more tired, or how are you feeling?
I feel very at peace right now. And Courtney was talking to me about this morning and last night. She's like, you seem so like calm and just at peace right now. And it's making her, normally she's a lot more stressed out, but even she's pretty relaxed right now because my mood is just like chilling. So it's been really good.
So you got a lot of stuff going on in your life right now. Like, I think a ton has changed since the last time me and you spoke. Is it, without getting into details, which we can go into later, but is it because you have kind of all your ducks in a row? It feels like your life is kind of lining up the way you want it. Is that part of the peacefulness, or is it just because your prep has gone so well?
I think it's more that my prep wasn't perfect and it's coming together now.
Oh, okay.
This is like how I feel right now is very just related to like my body and my prep, but all that external stuff of like business and moving and everything else I've been doing is amazing.
Yeah.
But I think how I feel right now is strictly just my body and prep and just feeling good.
When do you start dieting? You 12 or 14 or 16 weeks? When do you start?
This year was about 14 weeks.
So yeah. What was the sticking point? Like, where was the holdup? Around what time?
Probably around 8 weeks until, I think it was around 7 or 8 weeks out until 5 or 4 weeks out. There was 3 weeks, I think, where I was 254.2 pounds every single day for 3 weeks.
What's your cutoff again?
240.
Oh shit.
I'm like, I knew like deep down that like I always have like a sticking point, normally not nearly that long, but I normally get stuck at a weight for a while and then it just starts to come off. But for some reason we just kept like pushing and pulling more food and pushing, and my weight was like to the T, like this to a decimal the same way, and it was frustrating for a while. But
were you looking better, or was it just everything just felt the same every day for 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
I was looking like marginally better. I could tell I was definitely improving. Definitely slow rate, so that was obviously keeping me going, and I was just trusting the process. But it was still stubborn because I still had to make. I knew I hadn't put on like 11 pounds of muscle where I wasn't gonna make weight. That was impossible. So I knew it was gonna happen. It was just a matter of when and like needing to see it.
As a competitor, I get kind of crazy. Like, I like to see the scale drop. Often, like if there's a bunch of days, like you said, where it just stuck, even if I'm looking better, it kind of plays with my mindset. So are you like that, where you need to see the scale move, or can you use the mirror as a gauge just as equally as good?
I'm a bit of both, and I'm definitely like, you talk to someone else, or if you were coaching someone or a friend, you'd be like, it's the mirror, not the scale. The scale doesn't matter, But when you're there and like mentally, you're like, I get it, but like I want to see that
the scale matters.
The scale matters. Like I want to know. I want a physical proof that I'm changing. So I still felt good and was like pushing forward, knowing that my body was progressing as well and I was getting leaner. But I mean, we're all human. I definitely like the number move.
How's Ian as a coach? I know he's great. Obviously, you guys have done amazing work together, but when there is a sticking point like that, is he able to always keep you calm, or is he under control, or is he always under control of the situation, or do you guys panic together, or how does that play out?
Very calm. He definitely, I haven't seen Ian panic, even from when like my bad year when I was sick in 2018 and like I did look like shit. And he was like, afterwards, he was like, man, I was close to telling you can't compete because you look so bad. And I was like, I had no idea. He was just like, yep, all right, cool, we'll keep pushing. And then when I look absolutely insane and he was like, oh, I shit myself at that update, he always tells me like after the show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What I see is always like neutral. He's like confident. All right, cool. We'll keep pushing. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And then this time it was the same thing. He was calm. He was collected. He was like, yep, let's keep doing it. And I was like, then when I did start to progress too, I was like, okay, now I'm feeling better. I can push harder. Let's push harder. He's like, cool, let's push harder. And then I'm like, okay, but I can push harder. He's like, all right, cool, let's push harder. And we just kept going and going and going. And my body in the last like 10 days just flipped the switch and responded. So it was
When you're stuck at that weight, and not to keep harping on it, I know people are probably curious because all of us go through this as competitors at some point. How far do your calories drop, and how high does your cardio get before you can kind of finally get things to not be stubborn anymore?
I mean, the lowest I got this year was around 1,500 calories and 2 hours of cardio.
Shit.
So my rest days were an hour cardio in the morning, an hour at night.
Yeah.
And training days were an hour in the morning, 45 at night. But it was a grind for sure.
Yeah. I think that's good to hear though, because a lot of times you hear the opposite. Like you'll hear people that are usually genetic freaks come on and go, yeah, I barely do any cardio. Like Nathan will come on here and be like, yeah, I did 20 minutes of cardio a day, and he's shredded.
Yeah.
And you never hear competitors say, I got down to 1,500 calories. Oh, that's wrong. And this and that. And I think it's good to hear somebody like at your level has to go to that length, because it makes, I think it makes it more normal for the average person when they think, none of us are doing cardio, or at least 2 hours of cardio. So you finally got things to move along, and then the rest of your prep from 5 weeks down has been smooth.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it was more like after the 5 week point, my weight started to come down like slowly, like 0.5 pounds every other day or so. Yeah. But it wasn't really until probably 2 weeks out where like I was like, okay, I'm actually like, I dropped 4 pounds one day, and I was like, okay, fuck, finally. That's what I was waiting for. And then I was like, honestly, and any competitor knows this, when you are holding on to stress that you don't know, and all of a sudden it's released, you're like, oh wow, I didn't know I was holding on to that. And then your body just like changes. I started sleeping better. I started waking up later every day, and it was just like the ease of stress and the cortisol going down, everything just like flowed.
Made it all move better. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So are you the kind of guy who diets on variety, or are you the kind of guy that diets on the same stuff every single day? Like, do you just eat the same? Like, you're like you're a bro eater is what they would call it.
Yeah. Okay. It helps me. I enjoy it. There's like, when I'm post show, I like staying really lean and I like playing around with it. Yeah. But right now, especially, another thing I cut out in the last like 2 weeks was like all kind of like sweeteners and I didn't always have pre-workouts, or I was having these like ice drinks. I cut that shit out. I was having just like organic honey mustard and mustards and shit, and like very specific condiments and stuff, and like everything was to a T the same, so I knew. Yeah. But to me, that just kind of helps me, and I enjoy it mentally. Don't have to think about it.
So you do you think cutting out sweet, because this is always a topic of conversation, and some people, like if you listen to Lane Norton, he'll say it doesn't do anything, but I think sometimes in practice things feel different than what studies will say. So do you feel like whether you're using condiments with sweeteners or just sweeteners in general, you think that affects your look or your waistline or anything like that? Or is it just for you a mental thing where you're like, I want to go bland?
I think it's both personally. I don't think you can say anything works for everyone at all. Yeah. Like Ian, I think he could have fucking 20 monsters a day on show day, and his glutes would be dry at midnight after having a pound of sucralose. Whereas me, it's not even, sometimes I'm not 100% sure if it's like holding on to less water, being a little tighter or something, but I'll honestly get really bad stomach pains. Really? Or like when my calories are super low. And I've seen some studies that say when your calories are really low, the effect that your body has with artificial sweeteners completely changes. Okay. So when you're like pretty much in a fasted state, which you are when you're most of the time when I'm eating that much, so much cardio, then my body responds a lot differently. So my off season, I'm eating a lot, feel fine. And I get down to 1,500 calories and I drink an ice drink or whatever the fuck those 0 calorie drinks are, a Monster, and I get this stabbing pain in my stomach. Like there's this knife up under my ribs just going into me during my workout, and I'm like, I can't even train right now. It's so painful. Yeah. And like I feel like I got a fart or got a shit or something. It's just not
nothing's happening. Yeah.
It's like hell. And then I'm like, okay, let's do a day with none of that. Let's just have a black coffee. Let's relax, and my stomach feels better. I'm like, okay, that's personal, Some people are fine, some aren't. I don't think it's going to make or break your prep, but you need to listen to your body.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not asking. Yeah, I don't want you to prescribe anything to everybody. I'm just curious. And then as far as your look goes, do you feel, so I get the feeling part of it, but as far as your look goes, does it make you look watery at all? Or do you think it affects your waistline size at all? Because you got a tiny waist. So like, I don't know if you notice a difference that way or not.
I don't think it would make my waist bigger, but I'm like a really big advocate of gut health.
Yeah.
And when you feel like that kind of inflammation and pain in your stomach and your gut and your digestion's bad, I believe you're going to be holding on to more water. Your stress is going to be high. Your gut microbiome controls your whole body. And I think having that digestion and stomach relief and gut health at 100% will help your overall body's look for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you looked at any other competitors? I know there's some strong guys coming on. Breon, to me, I don't know if you've seen any photos, but Breon's conditioning looks better than previous years. Robert Timms is new. He looks great. And then Terrence just won the Arnold's. Like, have you been watching everybody, or are you kind of like of the mindset where like, I don't need to care. I don't need to watch anything. I'm focused on what I'm doing.
I've been super focused on what I've been doing. I haven't like not seen people. Like, I watched clips of the Arnold and everyone looked awesome. Terrence I was worried for him because I trained with him at like 2 weeks out, and I was like, he looked behind. I felt like I was in better shape than him, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? But he pulled it together, and I knew he would. He knows how to fucking work, and I know he'll be even better at the Olympia because he got more time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, I love Terrence, so I kind of follow him a little bit, but I really don't keep my eyes on people at all. I don't know. In the past, I've muted some people, but lately I just don't even scroll on my feed. I just like, I've been posting YouTube videos every other day and posting a lot and trying to reply to comments. And I spend all my time replying to people and trying to like get back to them.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, my brain hurts. I don't want to scroll anymore.
Yeah.
And I just don't see anything. So it's in the last 2 years, I think I remember telling you last year I had people muted or I didn't even look at anyone. Yeah. And that made me feel so much more peaceful. This year I was just like, I'm just not going to pay attention.
You've never told me you muted people. Actually, I find that very interesting. So who can you give me one name?
I muted everyone who was top 5 in 2019.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's actually a great idea though. So you just keep yourself completely focused. Don't even worry about anything.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Oh, Chris isn't fucking, I don't know if they tag me in photos or comment, whatever, but I won't see it. I'm just like, sorry, man.
Yeah. So you got a ton going on. We'll get back to the Olympia in a second, but you got a ton going on. So you moved to Florida this year.
Working on it. So
you're not fully moved.
Not fully, no, but I got a visa process and everything is underway. So
yeah. So how is that? Is this the first time you've left Canada?
It is, yeah.
How does that feel? Does it feel?
It's kind of hard to answer that right now because Melissa and Ian came down and they were with us for 6 weeks. So like they were the main reason that was keeping me in Ottawa. They were my family there, and they came down and were staying with me. So that made it a lot easier. But aside from that, it felt like home. We didn't move to like a big city. I don't like big cities. It's a small little town. And I already knew so many people there. One of my best friends, Matt Thompson, had just moved down there. Mm-hmm. And we were both settling in this new city. I was becoming a part of Raw and Revive, and I'm good friends with the whole team down there. There's like a bunch of people I know, Dom, Matt Jansen. But so like we go to the gym and there's like 8 people, Yeah. And like you hang out with people and it just felt like home. So a big reason why I felt comfortable doing that was for that reason. When we visited in April or May, we spent like a month there and I felt like I was at home living there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you have like a whole gang of people down there, there's nothing really that you're missing, especially if Ian and Melissa. But now after the show, if Ian and Melissa go home, because I know Ian said something about possibly moving, but he didn't say anything definite. But if Ian and Melissa go home, are you still going to feel, are you settled in now, or are you going to be like, oh shit, this feels different?
I don't know, honestly, because it was like I traveled around for the last few years, going to cities looking for somewhere to move because I wanted to change. Okay. And I had decided I wasn't. I was like, screw it. I went to like Austin, San Diego, Denver, a bunch of random places, and I was looking to move. And I was just like, nothing made me want to leave home. Mm-hmm. And then I went to like Stewart, and I was like, wow, I want to leave home. I want to live here.
Why did you want to leave home, Sabel? Why were you looking for somewhere to go? Just to travel and experience something, or was there something? Were you bored of Ottawa, or what was it?
I just kind of, I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't like an indefinite, like I need to leave. It was just like, let's play out my options. I'm young. I have a lot of opportunities to do stuff over here, and nothing's tying me down. Like if I felt in love with a place, I'd go, and I didn't. So I was like, screw it, I'll stay in Ottawa. And then this is like one of those chances by fate. It just kind of trickled on and felt so like comfortable, and the people, like I said, I just connected with the people down there a lot, so it just felt right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is, and I don't know if everybody thinks this, but I always thought you were moving for Courtney. I don't know if that was that part of your decision, or were you planning on moving anyway, or like
Courtney was in the process of getting a Canadian visa.
Oh, she was going to move up. She was going to move here.
Yeah, we were talking to a lawyer to get her to move to Canada.
Okay.
And I was like, what do you think about going to Florida? And she's like, I'm open to anything.
Where is she from?
So she's from Illinois.
Okay. So that's a big change for her too then. So you guys are both happy there? Like everything's cool in Florida?
Yeah, she loved it too. She was moving to Canada for me. Like she wanted to get away from the cold, and then was willing to come to Canada for me.
For more cold.
It was almost like a test. Like, okay, if you'll move to Canada, then you know she's really committed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, okay, we can go to Florida. And so she's really happy. No, she loves it. She loves the sunshine and the heat and everything. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. So the next big thing, and I'm sure there's more, but things that are public that I know of anyway, was you left Jack Factory, who you had a good relationship with, and partnered up with Matt and Dom, the owners of Raw and Revive, and now you're part owner of both the companies, or one of the companies?
Just Raw, yeah.
Just Raw. So you're part owner of Raw.
Athlete for Revive, but part owner of Raw, yeah.
And how big is that, man? Like, how old are you?
26. That was, I know.
Your life's a fucking fairy tale. You know that, right? Like it's like
fucking dream. It is absolutely. I'm still at a loss for words. When they gave me that offer, I was like, "Is this for real?" I'm like, "Can you write that down right now? Because I don't know if I believe you." Yeah. And it was more than just like what the offer was. It was, like I said, even before that offer, I'd gone down there and I felt like this place felt like home. And part of it was the community and the people and those two guys and just like being around them and their mindset. And I just really respected them. Yeah. And then to get that offer after feeling like this place felt like home, it was just like, it literally felt like my stars had aligned, and it was an opportunity I would be the biggest regret if I had said no to, because everything just felt so perfect. So it was definitely really exciting.
It's a hard opportunity to pass up. I think a lot of athletes, at least ones that I've spoken to, are always trying to get that deal, right? Mm-hmm. Like I've spoken to many athletes, obviously better than me or on my level when I competed. They're always wanted to try and get a piece of whatever company they're with, or a percentage or a royalty deal or something like that. And at 26, man, that's crazy. So you're like, you've really kind of set yourself up. And I think I was thinking about this earlier. I'm like, it kind of goes, you're kind of setting yourself up for a dynasty in a way. And I don't know if that's what you want, because some people, like I talked to Brandon Curry, for example, when he won the Olympia, and I said, how many do you want to win? And he's like, I don't know, maybe a couple. And then I don't know what I want to do. Are you in a dynasty mindset where you're like, I want to be the fucking New England Patriot, I want to be the Tom Brady of classic? Or like, are you like, I want to do this and then I want to do something else?
I'm kind of in between, to be completely honest.
Okay.
I'm very I find it difficult right now to think that far into the future.
Yeah.
Like really just like enjoying what I'm doing right now. And like, I'm really just excited for this Olympia. And every time someone's like, how many are you going to get? You could win like 10, 5. I'm like, I'm just trying to win the next one, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And would I love to have a lot under my belt? Yes. But am I going to be competing for 10 years more? No.
That's kind of what I'm asking. Why do you say that? Because at 26, you'd go on for 15 more years, probably successfully. So
sure. I don't know. It's like I love what I'm doing right now, but I know that because I also do so much, I do a lot of stuff outside of bodybuilding, and I've always tried to stay Chris Bumstead, like who I am, and not be known as people see me and be like, oh, I'm the bodybuilder guy. I don't think people look at me and think that, especially those close to me. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy having other aspects of my life. There's a lot of other things I enjoy outside of bodybuilding, like the business and entrepreneurship side of it all. And I find a lot of joy and passion in that. And it's something that right now bodybuilding is my main priority and my love. But if it's not forever, then I'll be okay and I'll move on to the next thing.
Yeah. No, I want to get into some of the psychological stuff. So this last couple weeks, when you're two-time Mr. Olympia, and I know you're just kind of you're focused on this show coming up, how does your mindset? Is it like, I know I'm going to win? Is there pressure? I know you said you felt calm, but what is the mindset of a Mr. Olympia going in after already having 2 under their belt?
I believe I'm going to win this year. I do. This is the best I've ever looked, and I'm confident in that I'm going to win this year. I can't see anyone honestly really coming close. Mm-hmm. But it was a year where I'm hard on myself every year. Yeah. And like last year, I was like, didn't really realize the progress I had made from 2019 to 2020 because I expected so much of myself. Mm-hmm. And this pressure I feel comes from myself, really. And I think a part of the reason I was able to make that progress is because I didn't think I had. And I'm like my worst critic. And I was like, I feel like I look the same, but I haven't looked that much better. And then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, I look way better. Yeah. But like, I felt like I'm behind. I'm not good enough. I got to do more. I got to do more. I got to do more. And then like, realistically, when I look back, I was like, holy shit, I was far from behind. I was clearly progressing, but my brain was just like not thinking like that. And I guess that's the pressure I put on myself of being like, I'm the best, but it's not good enough for me. I still can be better and I will be better. And it creates a lot of stress, I guess anxiety sometimes it does, where I'm like, I feel like I need to improve like a lot. And it drives me to be better, but it puts a lot of stress on me sometimes too, for sure.
Is there a big change? I mean, obviously I've seen some of your training videos. You train like an animal, but like, how different is your physique going to be this year from last year? Are we going to see another dramatic jump, or is it small details that are just going to make you look that much better?
I mean, I'm thinking they're small details, but that's what I thought last year. So we'll find out on Saturday. Yeah. But I've definitely put on some weight. I've told myself if 2 years in a row I hide in over 6'1", I'm believing I'm 6'1", and I'm showing up at around 240. So I'm a little under 240 right now. Last year I was under 230. So I've got some weight on me, and I think there was this look I had back when I was younger, probably 2017 Olympia was the last time I had it, where I just like drier, crisper look that I've just been chasing that I feel like I don't have. And I feel like I just got it like yesterday. I woke up and took videos and I'm like, fuck, I have that like graininess back that I had when I was young, which is weird. You normally get that when you're older, I feel like. Yeah. So I feel like conditioning wise is going to be, it is already surpassed last year with a little more weight. And
a little more weight. You said so you're like, you want to say 10 pounds up from last year? Because you said you're under 230.
Not 10 pounds, maybe 6 or 7.
That's still a lot of tissue, man. That's a lot of stage weight.
I hope I'm also someone though who could like finally eat a little bit and then wake up and lose 3 pounds tomorrow and be like, okay, never mind, just kidding.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Before you go, outside of bodybuilding, you say you have a lot of interests. What's one interest that people don't know about? I know you're doing a YouTube thing. I know you have a lot of blogs, and I know that's one of your interests. Is obviously you're very good at it. You do like the YouTube stuff all the time, but what's an interest that people don't know about that is something that you are like involved in or want to be involved in?
That people don't know about?
Is you one of the, do people know everything about you? Like when you do your blogs, there's stuff that you hold back, your vlogs?
I share most stuff. Like I have a huge passion for like business now and entrepreneurship and like the whole branding side of things. And like I don't know if you could call it business end, because it's not really like the money or anything I'm interested in. I'm really interested in how to build like a community brand that everyone feels a part of. Sure. And like involving people. And like that's something that really excites me with Raw now, to have the power to like apply my thoughts and put them into motion. Yeah. But people kind of know that, I guess, because I share that, I guess.
I was going to ask you on the branding side of things, do you design your own clothing? Not design, like I know you don't go in and like do it on the computer, but I'm saying like, do you tell the designer like, this is what I want to look like?
Oh yeah. There's a few things that I have designed on like random software sites that share shit like pickmonkey.com, and I just like put together the colors and stuff, and I'm like, wow, it looks cool, and we have used it for shirts. Yeah. But we have a one designer now we mainly work with, and I just like come to him, I give him like a shitty drawing and ideas and colors, and I'm like, make it look pretty, and try and do that. But so I like that side of it too. And if I could use a computer better, I would love to do that, but I'm not tech savvy. So
yeah. Is it exciting for you to be coming out with new flavors, testing flavors, like the creative side of things? Because are you involved in that? Are you involved in like, this is what flavor I want to try next, this is what flavor I want to release? Are you involved in all of that?
So they pretty much like Dom and Matt were kind of like, we want you to be a part of it, you can be involved as you want to be. And I was like, I want to be involved as I can. Like we have weekly meetings where this was the first week I missed it. Even in prep, I was showing up to the meetings and like really wanting to be involved, even if I'm just sitting back and listening to learning how the business functions on the other end of it, and then being able to throw my ideas in there. It was something that I really wanted to like put my like stamp on and like make this brand, like put a part of myself into it. So I'm trying to be involved as I can.
Did you have a similar experience at Jacked? Like, were you as involved at Jacked, or was it a little bit more on a just athlete side with a little bit of input, or were you fully involved at Jacked when you did your products over there?
I was definitely more of an athlete, but they still let me, like, we formulated the product together. I picked the colors and the labels, and I was going through the rounds with the designers to make all this stuff. And it was like, we worked together on like the fun stuff. Yeah. But when it came down to like the nitty gritty, you know, like
hands off,
advertising, shipping, all that functionality in the back, and I was like, you know,
see you later.
I didn't handle that. Well, I'm an athlete.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, listen, I don't want to keep you long. I just want to ask you before you go, because I know you're somewhat of a truck guy, correct?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you still driving that GTR?
Yep.
You took a shot at my Jeep the other day.
I did. Sorry. I had a rough time shipping. I shipped my GTR to Florida, and the borders were closed. The driving borders were closed.
Yeah, that's right.
So they called me. I was in Florida. It was being shipped, and it was supposed to get here. And they called me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not letting your car in." I'm like, "The fuck do you mean?" Like, we can't. The borders are closed. It's not essential. I was like, I just paid you $6,000 to ship it. Like, I filled out all the forms. And they're like, yeah, we can't do it. So we're gonna have to ship it back. And then it was like, I had to call the border, and it was like 4 hours of like me talking to the border officers. They sent my car back to like a warehouse parking lot in Toronto, where it sat for 6 weeks just sitting there. And then finally I was like, what if I try like a different way to like import it fully and pay customs and duties and all this shit on it and get it through? And they're like, that should work.
Yeah, of course.
It will. And they're like, it should. It'll be another $6,000 shipping plus $3,000 for customs and shit. I'm like, fuck it, just try it. And I got it like 10 days ago. So
they just wanted their money.
Exactly.
Crazy, man. Isn't that nuts? So living in Windsor, we're a border town, obviously, with Detroit, and I used to do all my shopping over there and entertainment stuff whenever like I wanted to do stuff. And it's crazy that I can't drive across the border anymore, but I can get on a plane and fly. Like, it makes zero sense.
You get in a concreted airport with a bunch of people you're really close to, but you can't go in your private vehicle.
By yourself. Yeah.
By yourself.
Okay. So I'm going to let you go, but this is what I want to show you before you go, because I'm curious of your opinion. So I got a TRX.
You did.
I'm waiting for it to show up like a kid at fucking Christmas. It's like I ordered it like 2 weeks ago.
I almost ordered a truck, but they didn't let me.
Which truck were you going to get?
I was trying to get the Gen 3 Raptor.
Oh, nice. You know what? The only reason I haven't got that is because I didn't get that one instead is because I'm waiting for the big motor to come out.
See, I didn't want that.
Why?
I know it's cooler and everyone's going to be like, you could have gone the race motor, but like if I want to do road trips in my truck and I don't want to stop for gas every 5 minutes. Like,
yeah, you're always the sensible one. See, this is a fucking problem.
The truck's got a turbo V6. It's quick enough, you know, I don't need to race it.
Yeah. Well,
it's my comfort, height, and
But is that your daily though? That's the difference. Is that you're going to be your daily driver?
My daily, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have your GTR to fuck around in, right? Yeah, that's the difference. So mine, I have a daily that's like comfortable and like whatever. And this would be like my kind of fuck around car because I don't have a sports car anymore. So that's why I wanted the extra power. But okay, so 2 versions. I got black, obviously, but the 2 versions of wheels, which one do you prefer? You got this one has small wheel, big tire. This one has big wheel, small tire.
Small wheel. I'm a small wheel, big tire guy all day.
I knew you were gonna fucking say
all day for a truck. That's honestly, the reason I loved I was gonna get the Raptor, but they stopped producing them like 2 days ago. It was because the 37 package, and they have the mud tires, and it comes stock with that, so it'll drive so clean. Yeah, and I was like, that's perfect, not aftermarket, and I love the mud tires. So
am I gonna catch heat from you then if I go with the big wheel?
I already know you're going to do the big wheel. you're that guy who probably used to have like a lifted white Ram 2500 with like thin wheels and
not thin fucking
hostile rims.
You saw my last truck. It was bad to you. You didn't fuck that. Like last truck was.
What your last truck was?
Yeah.
I remember the Z06 and the Trackhawk. I liked the Z06 a lot.
You didn't like the Trackhawk. All right. Just before we go, because you're busting my balls.
Let's see it.
That's a 24-inch wheel.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
No? You like the big meats, right?
Those hostile rims too?
They are hostile rims.
I mean, to be fair, no shit. If I were you, I would have the hostile rims.
Well, you have to, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool that they named them after you.
Oh, fuck. You're always busting my balls. All right. Well, listen, Chris, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you giving me the time. Everybody I've talked to, predictions, everybody's obviously got you in the lead and got you winning again, and I hope it comes true for you. You're a good guy, man, and you're doing very good for the sport. You're a great ambassador. So I wish you luck this weekend, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me on, and I wish you could be here, but we'll be looking forward to your commentation.
Commentation, maybe. I'll probably do some wrap-ups and stuff. Is that a word? Commentation?
One day we'll have you here.
Last year, we said we would do a victory wrap-up, and we never got to do it. This year, if you win, are you going to come back?
If I remember, yes. If you bug me enough,
I'm not going to bug. I don't bug. I don't bug you. I won't bug you.
Don't bug me at all. No. If you ask, I'll be there.
All right. Well, we'll set it up. Thank you so much, Chris. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Of course. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Okay, brother. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.